Okay, continuing the hot topics, Mr. Williams, the next one is coming your way. Why do you favor or oppose city assistance or subsidies for the Shrimp Festival and for local nonprofits?
I'm not so sure about favoring assistance to the Shrimp Festival. I think that they could get organized in such a way as that they can make out pretty well on their own. If they're bringing 150 to 180,000 people to the island, they ought to be able to figure out how to make money off that. In West Palm Beach, they have the Sun Fest that grosses the city $3 million. It's serious money, and we have a big crowd here. We need to make it, find a way to, they need to find a way to make themselves profitable, more profitable. As to the nonprofits, there I think we do have a responsibility, partly as has been discussed in the commission, is that by giving money from the city, it allows them to get matching funds from other folks on the outside, and that's important even if we give them minor amounts of money. But I think the other thing about it, and why I think we ought to be, if anything, more generous, is that these are services that people are doing, a lot of them, and volunteers that are doing it for the love of it, for the good of their fellow man. And if they didn't do it, this would wind up back on the city's coffers out of it, and that's the sort of thing which the city probably doesn't do awfully well. And I do think the commission has a duty to put money out for this stuff. I've heard the argument that the commission should leave this up to the taxpayer to spend the money, but the fact is that the commission gets a good deal of information, a lot of information that the public just doesn't have. And so I think that their choices are certainly likely to be better than mine as a citizen. So I'm for the city to support nonprofits, not so for it to support the Shrimp Festival.
Thank you. Mr. Austin?
Repeat the question.
Yes, sir. Why do you favor or oppose city assistance or subsidies for the Shrimp Festival and local nonprofits?
I would be for not helping the Shrimp Festival. Let them take care of themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Curtin?
Well, I would separate the Shrimp Festival for the other nonprofits, as has been mentioned here by others. The Shrimp Festival is a money-making operation which I believe can very well stand on its own, and it has done so for years. Now, the nonprofits, I have to give you again my philosophy on taxes. Taxes are monies collected by a government for the purpose of running that government, and they're collected by the police power of government, and they're not charity and they're not voluntary. So I do not think that our tax money should be directly applied to non-governmental operations, because the purpose of taxes is to pay for the government that imposes the taxes. There is plenty of opportunity, and there are plenty of opportunities to provide help to the charities and to the nonprofits that we have here in town. And they're all good organizations, and I think they should be supported, but I do not think that 5 people sitting up here should be making decisions that are really up to you as individuals and who you want to support in the charitable world. The country has got this country has a very good charitable record, and I don't think it's government's business to do that. Thank you.
May I ask whether or not Mr. Curtin is suggesting that because the tax money from the commission goes there and it helps these people to survive in their nonprofits, and if they don't get that money, they don't survive, so that then the entire load comes back on the city, where it will be paid for by tax dollars, and far greater number of tax dollars than by the small increments we provide to the nonprofits.
And Mr. Curtin, you may have 30 seconds to respond to that.
I'm not going to change my position on that. I think he's asking me a hypothetical question that has any basis at the moment, in fact, and anything can happen. But I will stand by my philosophy on taxes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Johnny Miller.
I just wonder if I should maybe slide back a little bit. I'll move that you, my running mate here, just kind of steal my thunder in an agreement with that, but I think we've run into our first disagreement. I am for supporting the Shrimp Festival, and the question, I believe, was offering assistance or subsidies. I think that we should offer all the assistance we can to our Shrimp Festival committee. As a city, it's a big part of Fernandina. It's the Island Lake Flag Shrimp Festival. The history goes all the way back to the shrimpers, which we're losing. You know, what do we have, 4 shrimp boats left on the island? It was a shrimp boat race. It evolved into this great festival, and it's become an art festival, and there's a lot of vendors, and people are making a lot of money. But let's not forget the roots and what we're doing here. I mean, there are people, I'm not fortunate enough to be born and raised here, but I know a lot of people who are, and Shrimp Festival, you can always tell the ones who are from here because they call it Shrimp Boat Festival. They don't call it Shrimp Festival. But Shrimp Boat's a big deal to a lot of people. It's a lot of memories, you know. It's their family's heritage. Normally the Shrimp Fest king or whoever's in charge is somebody who remembers the shrimp boat races when they race around Cumberland Island. So yeah, I think it's important. And do we spend money on it? Sure. You know, spend money on it. You take up the trash, you know, we don't get an argument about paying for garbage pickup for Shrimp Festival. It brings a lot of people to our island, but it's also a history thing. I think it's important to maintain our history, and I don't think we should be cutting corners there. As far as nonprofits, I'm in 100% agreement. I think that with my gentleman to my left here, I think that they provide a lot of services that the city would end up having to pay for anyway. As far as the whole playing God, you know, argument about who to give to, who not to give to, yeah, we should look at saving, you know, getting, you know, the Council on Aging to be able to travel around back and forth to Jacksonville over maybe a snail or something. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we should look at it. We're smart enough to figure out which ones that are helping us and are helping people versus which ones aren't maybe so much. I think we can handle doing that without having to say nothing for anybody or something for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. The next hot question, Mr. Austin, I believe you're up on this one. A clear and present